Shalom. Before we get started, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Hawakakwadash. Double honors to my elder apostles of Great Millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the Akim of Great Millstone, pushing his truth throughout the four corners in these last days. Shalom. All right, and we're going to jump to it. Okay, this article, it says, Russians are calling up the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense asking how to surrender, Ukraine says. All right, because these Russian citizens, they don't want to be drafted into this war, this third world's war. Okay, so they're trying to do all they can, to not be in this war. All right. So let's continue. It says a hotline set up to allow Russian soldiers to surrender is already getting calls, Ukraine claims. Okay, Ukraine says it's I Want to Live hotline guarantees confidentiality and humane treatment. Some Russians have been scrambling to avoid Putin's newly announced partial mobilization. Okay, and we know at the end of the day, the Lord mustered the host of the battle. Okay, so every step of the way, is going to lead to a nuclear war. And we see the predicament that Russia's been put in. Okay, the Medes is being put in. All right, and if this continues, they're going to be forced, to step it up, to take it to the next level. All right. So and also dealing with that pipeline, that was bust. NATO blaming it on Russia, and this is hurting multiple countries. That gas pipeline, that's hurting multiple countries. All right. So everything that's happening is going to cause more and more attention, to the point they're just going to have to shoot those missiles off. So it says, Russian men drafted to war by President Vladimir Putin. Recent mobilization announcement are using a Ukrainian hotline to ask how they can give themselves up, according to Ukraine's Ministry of Defense. All right. It says, Andriy Yusov, a spokesperson for the department, said during a televised briefing on Monday that there had been a strong response to the I Want to Live hotline, according to the Ukrainian newspaper Ukrainska Pravda. Okay, the hotline was announced by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense on September 19, 2 days before Russian President Vladimir Putin announced. The hotline was announced, by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense on September 19, 2 days before Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the mobilization of reservists to the battlefield. Okay. Yusov said the hotline has received a lot of calls. All right. So it's like they already knew what was going on, like that was going to come. All right. As far as Ukraine, because it says they had set up that hotline 2 days before Vladimir Putin, called for that draft. All right. And we know that the elites control the chessboard, and Yahweh Shema Shah controls the elites. Okay. All right. The elites of these different countries. All right. They come together on this. All right. This, they think that their plan is going to work, but it's going to backfire on them. The Lord is going to throw a monkey wrench in their plan. All right. It says, Yusov said the hotline has received a lot of calls from recently drafted Russians and even some who haven't yet been mobilized per the newspaper. Yusov added, per the paper, they're calling and asking, what should I do if I get called up? What do I have to do? What's the right way to surrender? Yusov comments have not been independently verified, but Putin's announcement sparked protests nationwide and has prompted some Russians to take desperate measures to be called up. All right. Putin had earlier promised that he wouldn't take this step, which brings the reality of the war to Russians accustomed to civilian life. All right. It's a lot. All right. Yeah, you can finish it off, but I'm going to stop there. And this is the article. Russians are calling up the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense asking how to surrender, Ukraine says. Okay. And I'm gonna start off with this. Second Ezra 16 and 14. All right. Because another plague that's coming on the earth is war. A world war. Okay. And that's a plague. You know? That's what's gonna plague this earth. You know, and millions of people, you know, billions of people are going to perish, are going to die. All right. That's how you're going to be taken in a great number by these nuclear missiles. Okay. That's going to wipe out a third of the Earth's population. Speedily, you know, it's not going to take a long time for that to happen. It says 2 Ezra 16 and 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. All right, so I brought that out to say this. It's nothing you can do to stop World War III from happening. All right? There's nothing you can do. And guess what? This is within the Lord's plan. Because World War III is going to be a nuclear war. It's not going to just be a regular war. Nah, they about to take this to the pinnacle. You know, they about to take it there. You know? You know, they're going to be forced to use all their firepower, all that they have. All right. So, you know, this is not a good sign for Ukraine. All right. You know, and they you know, they may be taking it as a good sign, you know, but nah, you know, this is all working in the Lord's favor, you know, because Putin's not about to back down, you know, they're not about to back down. That old communist spirit is put back into them. Okay, they're not about to back down. This 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when, let me find that precept. I'm gonna come back to this one. Put hooks. There you go. That's it. All right. This is Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with a sort of armor, even a great company of bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All right, and that's exactly what the Lord is doing. Okay, let me scroll down. Nah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, so that's what the Lord is doing. All right, so this war will happen. You know, that might be the title of the video. This war will happen. You know, right now it seems like Russia is losing this war and things like that. You know, it seems like the odds is against them. But nah, this everything is working how the Lord wanted to work. This is going to force them to use those nuclear missiles. All right. In Russia, they're going to get that old spirit put back into them, because these Russian Edomites, they're hard men. They're not pussies. They're not bitches. So they're not going to be like, oh shit, we got to surrender. Let's give up. Let's surrender all our nuclear capabilities and all this, and just fall back. They're not about to do that. Thus saith the Lord. They're not about to do that. This about to get intense and more intense and more intense. They're getting them silos ready. It's up there. First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Exactly. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for this war. You got people that they don't want this war to come to pass. Nah, this war is biblical. This is the word of the Lord. All right. Though it tarry, wait for it. This Isaiah and the elites, they already know what's going on. Like, the men of the Lord, the ones that's in this truth. All right, we know what's going on. We know World War III will happen. The elites, they know World War III will happen. They got their bunkers and everything ready. It's just the sheeple, the people in the middle, the monkey in the middle, they don't know what's going on. So they're hoping that this war don't happen, that the whole world come together, love everybody, peace and safety. They hoping those things happen, and it's not going to happen. All right? That's against the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord is for World War III to happen. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All right? So with that, I want to end it off and give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushua, Ba'ashum, Hawakai. Double honors to my elder apostles, a great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the Akim, a great millstone, pushing the truth throughout the four corners. These last days, Shalom.